I guess a mechanic you can track. That I guess healers should track. I think everyone should track this mechanic. I think it's a good idea to have. Though I might be calling out myself with this one, and that is average healer mythic plus experience avoidable damage taken. Yikes. I will say it's unfortunate for paladins, like how often they get flamed. At least they have in this expansion. So honestly, I will say, where would I lie? Where would I stand in this group? I gotta imagine I'd be at least second. I don't know if I'm the best at avoiding mechanics. I mean, I do decent. I think, you know, like once I get hit by a mechanic once, I shouldn't get hit by again. I gotta get hit by it once. All right, I gotta like memorize. All right, I gotta experience the stupid before I can overcome the stupid. All right, that's the only way I can do it. But that is a significant amount. Let's see. Not realistic. The Fury Warrior isn't on top. Sign the Fury Warrior that is usually on top of avoidable damage. Yeah. Let's see. Co-sign the DK that actively soaks things with AMS because it's what my class has instead of mobility. So dirty. Yeah. I mean, thankfully, as tank, you got heroic leap, so there's that positive. I always just charge out of things if I can, but I will say, not having mobility or not saving your mobility for avoidable damage is a miss, for sure. Let's see. Average Ret Enjoyer. Do I stand in this? What about this one? How about that one? Is this the one I can stand in? I will say that some of us who've played WoW for a long time, there are certain things that I guess you get used to, like, oh yeah, like you stand in this for the extra thing. And I think some people get that in their head and they're like, all right, so this is the thing you can stand in for the bonuses, right? Ret Paladin has no cooldown. 30 seconds is no cooldown this rotation. Let's see. As a Ret Enjoyer, there are two types of damage. One, the healer deals with the other bubble. Wait, the other eye bubble, because it's one shots me. Yeah. I think the hardest part about some classes, especially, it's going, what's going to hit me the hardest, or this is going to hit me hard enough to where I need to pop my defensive. Because if you pop it at a time, say you are lower on health, and you don't get hit by enough damage, and then the thing that's gonna hit you, like the unavoidable damage thing hits you, then you're just dead. So it is hard to know which one. I will recommend that cheat sheets on Wowhead typically tell you what things do the big damn. And that is literally all you need to look at as DPS. Look at the thing that deals the big damn so you know when to pop your defensives. That's fucking it. You can be an idiot and stand in the fire. I don't give a shit. That's okay. Wiping twice on Ingram Murloc takes a special kind of stupid. Let's see. How do you get to track avoidable damage and details? Yeah. Oh, wait. It's an elitism helper plugin for details. Oh. I'm gonna have to get that mechanic or that today. Wow, shouts out avoidable damage in chat. That's so fucking toxic. Yeah, just don't make it spam chat, please. People who spam that shit in chat. I'll say, if you do something once, I will not call you out. You know what you did. You know you got hit by the mechanic. You know you did. If it happens twice, I think it's fine to let the person know. Like, give them a suggestion of how to, like, hey, just make sure you're avoiding that. If they get hit by a third time, then it's the public humiliation. It's 3-strike rule. Average plate armor enjoyer. These are all the fucking like clothies who are all like they're range DPS and shit, and they got like 1 billion defensives. Seeing the triple melee DPS makes me sweat. That's true as well. The comp seem kind of crazy. It's always a ret paladin bubble, not even once. I will say DPS in general are very hesitant to casting their defensives. As a tank, even though no one's asking me, I am popping defensives if I have like the spare like global cooldown to do so. Like I will do that. It's not a problem for me. I will take the DPS hit, I guess. What do you expect of a 4 melee stacked on top of each other? Yeah, and I think that's another main reason of like asking for trouble, because if you think about mechanics, and how they work, a majority of them have you either avoid your group, or you separate yourself from the group. And a lot of people don't want to sacrifice their DPS, so that means everyone gets hit. So I guess, I mean, that's ultimately, I think, what it is. But is it one person's fault? No, even though there's clearly like a one above the rest. I think once you get too many DPS in one area, it's easy to lose track of where you are, and forget forget who it is in all the clutter. So I get it. I definitely get it. Yeah, it's a toughie. I will say that should all damage be avoidable if you do the mechanics right? I think it'd be cool if that was the case, but I think often people also miss that avoidable damage, you know, as a DPS is influenced heavily. Is like, is your tank positioning well? Is your healer making you more hesitant about your placement? And say you overstep or you overcorrect? Are you trying to achieve like a higher parse, or you're inexperienced in that level of mythic? So I mean, I think avoidable damage is a little black and white, like saying like anybody can avoid it, so like you shouldn't have gotten hit by it, is a bit black and white, when the reality it's gray. Like I've been in plenty of situations as a DPS where you're just chugging away and you go to avoid it, but all of the rings have been placed in awful placement and you're just not in a position to avoid it at the time, because you didn't move enough earlier before, and the person maybe placed their ring of whatever the fuck right next to you. Should you have stopped your DPS so you could have better placement for laters to avoid it? Sure. But sometimes if you're trying to achieve higher damage, or if you're worried that you won't be able to pick up the slack, then it's like, what I would like to see in this is to see where this person lies in comparison to the rest, DPS wise. I guarantee it's higher than everybody else's. No, probably not. It's probably the Fury guy. that was a lie. I'm sorry. But I guarantee his DPS is probably fine too. I guess, yeah, it's probably the Fury. Yeah, this is warrior bias, but I think it's probably the Fury. Anyways, what do y'all think? What do you think about avoidable damage? Should you crucify people? Should you comment to people? Like, what's your methodology for when people get hit by avoidable damage mechanics? Does it matter if you don't die? Like, what do you think? I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.